Hey everybody, welcome back to the FTR Network. So I'm going to do a video today on how to do Disneyland for under 4G. I was inspired to do this video after having 3 separate conversations with people on how they won't go to Disney as they don't have 10G to drop. Guess what? You do not need 10G to go to Disney. In fact, Disneyland can be quite affordable, and I'm going to show you how to take a family of 4 to Disneyland for a reasonable amount of money. Now, this past year was a bit unusual. We went to Disneyland in June 2023 and then Disney World in January 2024. So I have a very fresh memory of the two, and I do want to take a quick minute to compare. Disneyland, in my opinion, and in my family's opinion, is better. It is the OG. It has all the good things: Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain, Pirates, Indiana Jones, Rise of the Resistance, Jungle Cruise, Haunted Mansion, the former Splash Mountain, which will soon be Tiana's Bayou, Toontown, Fantasyland, Cars, Soarin', Grizzly River Run. It has all the good things that you need, and it's not spread out over 4 parks. You can get off-property accommodation, and it's still quite close and walkable, whereas in Disney World, it is not. It's far. Anaheim is very clean and pretty and fairly organized. The 2 parks and downtown Disney are right beside each other, so it's super accessible to meander between them. In Disney World, you need to take a shuttle system to get from one park to the other. The wait times in Disneyland are significantly lower than Disney World, and you really don't need Lightning Lane or Genie Plus unless you have spare money and want to do that. The bus/shuttle area is very close to the parks. For example, Magic Kingdom and Disney World, the shuttle area, you now have to get on to the monorail to get into the park or the ferry. But in Disneyland, they drop you off and you're there at the gate. Disneyland is also not as crowded in Disney World, and that was from us going in June versus Disney World in January when people don't have money and aren't traveling. So that says a lot. And hey, guess what? Disneyland is cheaper. So here we go. All right, depending how far away you live from Disney, you have a few options. If you're less than a 6-hour drive away, that would be an affordable way to get there. You won't lose any more time than if you were flying, as you have to arrive at the airport hours in advance, plus the flight time, plus getting out of the airport and Ubering to your hotel. If you're over 6 hours, you'll have to factor in rest stops, perhaps even a hotel stop. So it might not be cheaper unless you're coming with more than 2 kids. Then it might be better because then you'd have to buy a separate plane ticket for 4 or more kids. And again, depending where you live, taking the Amtrak could also be an option, and it is affordable and it's kind of fun. The first time I went to Disney was with the Amtrak in a sleeper cabin, which was comfortable and all meals were included, and the food was really good. The way back, we took a repositioned cruise, which was super fun. If you time your trip right, like April or May, you can take a cruise up from LA, or September, October, you could cruise down to LA. But for this trip, we flew Flair because we live in central Alberta. So Amtrak, cruising were not super great options. And at the time, Flair was flying from Edmonton to LA, and it was cheap. We went for $550 return. You can't beat that. Now, unfortunately, Flair only goes to LAX from Vancouver now. So you have to look into some other options if you want to fly. You can have a rewards earning credit card or air miles or whatever fits your family best. You can also sign up for WestJet or whatever airline for their newsletter or alerts to be notified when there's a seat sale happening. You can also check Google Flights, and that is a great option as it gives you the calendar for the full year of what the price is like for each day. And then when you click on the day, it'll direct you to the site that has that seat sale. You can also use FareDrop, but you have to pay an annual fee, and it does something quite similar to Google Flights. So to me, I don't really find it worth it. Some people really love it. I don't think it's that great. And to further save on money with flying with budget, you will fly only with a personal item. And I have done an entire video on how to do that, and I will put the link in the description below. So there's lots of accommodations you can choose from around Disneyland. We went with extended stays because it was on the cheaper end, and it had some things that we wanted, such as continental breakfast, a kitchenette, laundry, and a pool. And, it's not too far from the park. Like I said, there's plenty of stays that are near the park. But it was like about a 25-minute walk. So even though it was within walking distance, we opted to take the ART, which is the Anaheim Regional Transit System, and it's pretty fabulous. It's super affordable. It was just a few bucks a day. Kids 12 and under are free. And the drivers take things to the next level with Disney trivia and fun facts as they transport you to the park gates. We used the laundry only once, and that was on day 3, which was in the middle of our stay, and it worked out well because that was our California Park Adventure Day, and California Park closes earlier than Magic Kingdom. And then I also used booking.com to find this deal because I have a Genius level, which gives me further discounts. Upon arrival to the hotel, I went into Instacart and I put all these items in my basket and had someone deliver it to me. It was great. It was $101 American, which at the time with the exchange, it was around 140 Canadian, possibly a little bit less. And with all that food, we were able to take care of our breakfast, lunch, dinner, and some snacks. We did budget for one nice dinner out, and that cost about the same as all these groceries put together. So doing groceries definitely saves you money. And the park is totally fine with you bringing food in. And I've also grabbed some water bottles, which I would freeze the night before, to act as a bit of a cooler, and that we could also have a nice cool drink. I did put aside a small budget for treats in the park that we could enjoy each day, like a Mickey Mouse ice cream or some churros. And that was $25 or less for the day. I will put down below the full list of what we did for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you want to check that out in the description. The park tickets are arguably the most expensive part of the trip. And sadly, there's not too many ways around it. The tickets fluctuate daily with the pricing if you want to do like a 1-day ticket. But I went with a 3-day ticket because that's pretty standard time to go to Disneyland. And sadly, if you're over the age of 10, you are now an adult. So you have to pay more. And the park hopper is an extra $70 per ticket. So, and like I said, you don't even need that. You don't need to ride Cars and Rise of the Resistance in the same day. Pick a park, stick with it, thoroughly enjoy it for the day, and the next day you will do the other park. Now, I want to show you a nice little trick that I discovered after we went to Disneyland, but I was able to use it for Disney World. AMA has a 5% cashback reward system. If you buy gift cards to do shopping, you can earn 5% to save towards anything that AMA offers. And AMA sells Disney tickets. They also give you a $20 saving per ticket to book, which is not like a ton of money, but it's something. So now if you budget correctly and you use your gift cards to do the bulk of your living things like buying groceries, buying household needs, doing an oil change, you can save, or earn, I should say, $1,000 within a year. And that's nothing to sneeze at. And hey, $1,000 savings on Disney tickets is pretty monumental. So I really urge you to look into AMA and using this program. And you're not losing anything because you have to go grocery shopping anyways. So why not do it in a way that you can get 5% cash back? And then you have all this money you've earned to use towards travel. And it doesn't even have to be Disney. It could be for anything. But that is a great way to save money on Disney. And bonus, when you book a trip through AMA, and if you're a premier member, and you don't have to have premier membership in the beginning, just upgrade to premier membership at the time of booking these tickets. Because then when you come back, they will give you $100 back into your reward program. So you can use that for your next trip and you can just keep cashing in on all these wonderful deals. So the grand total of our trip was $3,677. I cannot just leave this video without giving you some tips because I love Disney and I am in no means an expert in any way, but I have been enough times that I do feel like I can pass on some tips for you guys that are useful. Number one, you don't need a park hopper. I've already talked about that earlier. It's $70 extra. To me, it's not necessary. You can just thoroughly enjoy each park per day. Number two, Genie Plus and Lightning Lane are also not necessary at Disneyland. It's just extra money, and you really have to know how to work it to get the most bang for your buck. Disney World, absolutely. The crowds and lines are insane. You will definitely use Lightning Lane there. We did, even though before we went, I was like, I'm never going to use it. I used it in every single park too. So for Disneyland, you just plan your day well. I don't recommend you just walking into the park blindly without a plan because you will waste time. There's many videos out there that can show you how to do this. I might do this one day in the future, but I'm not planning on it right now. So the best thing I can say is look at a map, get that Disney app, see when the wait times generally are the highest for your desired rides. Have a look at your map, kind of figure out, mark out your day. One thing that you do need to do is pick your number one ride that is the busiest, and that will be your rope drop ride. So get to the park a half an hour before it opens, and then you wait in line, literally behind a rope. And as soon as the rope drops, you race like mad to get to that ride and get on there. And then you just kind of take it from there. Indiana Jones and Pirates of the Caribbean are high load occupancy, so they move pretty quick. So even if it shows it's a high wait time, don't stress. It's never as bad as they say they are. Okay, another tip, single rider. Not a lot of rides offer this feature anymore, but there are some that still do, and I suggest you use them if your group is comfortable using it. If you have kids with you, just sandwich them in between the grown-ups in the line. So mom goes on first, then the kids are behind, then the dad is last, so you can all meet together. But you do have a clear meeting spot outlined because Radiator Springs, for example, has 2 loading platforms, and you don't know which one you're going to end up on. So make sure you communicate very clearly to your party where you guys will meet at the end of the ride. Here are the rides that still offer single rider. Soarin', Grizzly River Rapid, Incredicoaster, Goofy Sky School, Web Slingers. And in Magic Kingdom, Matterhorn Bobsleds, Space Mountain, Millennium Falcon, Smugglers. That's it. There's only 3 left that do it. All right, next tip. Keep left. There are times where the line will split, like with Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Rail and Indiana Jones. The ride will split off into left and right because there's 2 loading areas. Keep left because most people subconsciously keep right. So that line tends to move slower because it has more people naturally gravitating towards. So keep left and you will get on faster. And the last tip I'm going to leave you with is if you get in line 1 minute before the park closes, you will get on that ride regardless of the wait time. Say you want to hit that Rise of Resistance one more time. Wait time, say it's 55 minutes and the park's about to close in 20 minutes. Hightail it over there, get in line, you're good to go. If you enjoyed this video, do please hit that like and subscribe so you can see more videos like these as they come out. Take care.